Most people believe metabolism slows down simply because you age. They think it's inevitable, like gray hair or wrinkles. But the truth is, metabolism does not automatically collapse after 50. It's not the number on your birth certificate that makes you gain weight, feel tired, or lose muscle. The real culprit is a set of hidden switches inside your body, hormones, enzymes, and cellular regulators that get stuck in the wrong position. And one spoonful of the right thing can begin flipping those switches back. That's what nobody tells you. You've been led to believe that your fate is sealed after menopause, that belly fat and fatigue are just part of getting older. But the science shows otherwise. A study published in Science analyzed metabolism across 6,400 people, ranging from infants to people in their 90s, and revealed something shocking. Your metabolism doesn't decline sharply until much later than you think. In fact, it stays surprisingly stable through your 50s. So why do so many women feel their bodies betray them right around that age? Because it's not just about calories in and calories out. It's about your body's ability to unlock and use those calories effectively. And that's controlled by chemical messengers that can be influenced by a single daily habit. I'll explain what that spoonful is. But before I do, you need to understand why your body seems to change overnight. It starts with muscle tissue. After 50, many women lose muscle at a rate of up to 1 to 2% per year. Muscle isn't just for strength, it's the engine of your metabolism. Every pound of muscle burns calories even while you sleep. So when muscle fades, the engine slows. But here's the twist. Muscle doesn't just disappear randomly. Its loss is triggered by a quiet shift in your hormones, especially estrogen and insulin. Estrogen is not only about reproduction. It plays a central role in where your body stores fat, how sensitive your muscles are to insulin, and how efficiently you burn glucose. When estrogen declines, insulin often rises. That combination creates what's called insulin resistance, where your cells stop listening to insulin's signal. The result? Sugar stays in the blood instead of fueling your muscles, and your body stores more of it as fat, particularly around the belly. This is why so many women after 50 say, "I eat the same way I always did, but suddenly I gain weight." It's not that you're eating more. It's that your body is using what you eat differently. The fuel pipeline is broken. The spoonful I'll share with you has the power to repair part of that pipeline by calming insulin and reigniting your cells' responsiveness. But before I reveal it, I want you to picture what's happening inside you every single morning. You wake up and your blood sugar is at its lowest point of the day. Your muscles are hungry, your brain is begging for fuel, and your liver has been working all night balancing blood sugar. If you start your morning with the wrong spoonful, say cereal, toast, or even coffee with sugar, you're pouring gasoline on a fire that's already flickering out of control. Your blood sugar spikes, insulin floods in, and within 2 hours, you crash. That crash leaves you tired, irritable, and craving more sugar. And every crash makes your cells a little more resistant to insulin's signal. But if you start with the right spoonful, you reset the system instead. You lower the insulin surge, you give your liver the support it needs, and you flip a genetic switch inside your cells that tells them to burn rather than store. This is not magic. This is biochemistry, and it's why one spoonful can make all the difference, especially for women over 50. Now let's talk about mitochondria. These are the tiny power plants inside your cells. They take in nutrients and convert them into usable energy, ATP. When you're young, your mitochondria are efficient. They burn fuel cleanly. But after 50, oxidative stress builds up, damaging the mitochondria. Imagine a car engine clogged with soot. It doesn't burn fuel well, and it wastes energy. That's exactly what happens inside your body. You feel sluggish, not because you lack willpower, but because your power plants are failing. Here's the foreshadowing. The spoonful I'm going to show you not only calms insulin, but also scrubs your mitochondria clean. It activates a process called mitophagy, where old, damaged mitochondria are destroyed, and new, more efficient ones are created. That's the cellular reset you've been missing. Think about it. How many diets have you tried? Low carb, low fat, fasting, detox cleanses. Each one promises a reset, but the real reset happens at the cellular level, not at the plate level. And when you understand this, you stop blaming yourself. You stop thinking you're broken. You start realizing you've just been missing the one piece that makes everything else work. But metabolism isn't just about mitochondria and insulin. Another key player is your thyroid. Women over 50 are especially vulnerable to sluggish thyroid function. The thyroid controls your basal metabolic rate, the number of calories your body burns at rest. Even a small slowdown in thyroid function can mean a difference of 200 to 300 calories a day. Over a month, that adds up to nearly 10,000 calories, or about 3 pounds of fat, without you changing anything. Now, here's the kicker. The spoonful I'm about to tell you about has compounds that support thyroid hormone conversion. Your thyroid produces mostly T4, which is inactive. It has to be converted into T3, the active form that drives metabolism. Stress, poor diet, and age all block that conversion. But certain nutrients, when taken in concentrated amounts, can flip the switch back on. You're probably wondering, what is this spoonful? Is it a spice, a seed, a fermented food? I'll tell you, but I want you to understand how powerful it is by looking at inflammation first. Because inflammation is the silent killer of metabolism. When your body is inflamed, every metabolic process is slowed. Insulin resistance worsens, thyroid conversion stalls, and mitochondria suffer more oxidative damage. Chronic low-grade inflammation is what makes your joints ache, your brain foggy, and your belly fat stick, no matter what you do. The spoonful I'm referring to has been studied for its anti-inflammatory properties. In fact, in a trial published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, women over 50 who consumed just 1 spoonful daily experienced lower markers of C-reactive protein, a key indicator of inflammation. Within 12 weeks, they not only lost belly fat, but also improved insulin sensitivity. Now let's pause and reflect. You've been told weight loss is about willpower. But what if it's not? What if it's about chemistry? If your cells are inflamed, your mitochondria damaged, your insulin signals blocked, no amount of dieting will work long term, but reduce the inflammation, repair the mitochondria, calm the insulin, and suddenly your body begins to cooperate again. That's the reset. And here's the truth. The reset doesn't take months or years. The body responds quickly. Within days of taking this spoonful, studies show improvements in blood sugar control. Within weeks, women notice changes in energy and digestion. Within months, the scale begins to reflect the deeper changes happening inside. Now, before I name the spoonful, let me foreshadow one more piece. Because when you hear what it is, you might think it sounds too simple, too ordinary. But ordinary things can have extraordinary power when used with precision. Think of aspirin. It's just a compound found in willow bark, yet it revolutionized medicine. Think of penicillin, an accident of mold, yet it saved millions of lives. The spoonful I'm talking about is the same, humble, common, but transformative when used correctly. So here it is, flaxseed. 1 spoonful of ground flaxseed each morning has the potential to reset metabolism for women over 50. Why? because flaxseed contains 3 unique properties that no other food combines at this level. First, lignans, which are phytoestrogens that gently balance hormones when your natural estrogen declines. Second, soluble fiber, which slows glucose absorption, flattens blood sugar spikes, and feeds your gut microbiome. Third, omega-3 fatty acids, which reduce inflammation, repair cell membranes, and support mitochondrial function. Let's break that down in detail. Lignans are plant compounds that mimic estrogen, but far more gently. They don't push your body back into a premenopause state, but they do bind to estrogen receptors, calming the wild hormonal swings that drive fat storage. Think of lignans as the dimmer switch instead of the on-off switch. By modulating estrogen activity, lignans reduce hot flashes, stabilize mood, and even improve bone density, which indirectly supports metabolism by keeping you active. The soluble fiber in flaxseed is like a sponge in your digestive system. It slows the release of glucose into your bloodstream, which means insulin doesn't surge as high. Lower insulin means your cells stay more sensitive to its signal. Over time, that breaks the cycle of insulin resistance. It also feeds your gut bacteria, and here's a crucial detail. Healthy gut bacteria produce short-chain fatty acids that directly improve insulin sensitivity and reduce inflammation. Your gut is not just about digestion, it's a metabolic organ in its own right. And then we have the omega-3 fatty acids. Most people associate omega-3s with fish, but flaxseed provides alpha-linolenic acid, a plant-based omega-3. Omega-3s insert themselves into cell membranes, making them more fluid and responsive. That means your insulin receptors work better, your mitochondria produce energy more efficiently, and your inflammation levels drop. Omega-3s also help convert thyroid hormone T4 to the active T3 form, directly boosting metabolism. Now imagine this. Every morning, 1 spoonful of ground flaxseed stirred into water, yogurt, or a smoothie. It's simple, it's inexpensive, but inside your body, it's flipping switches, balancing estrogen, lowering insulin, feeding your microbiome, scrubbing your mitochondria, calming inflammation, and supporting your thyroid. 1 spoonful, a chain reaction. And we've only scratched the surface, because flaxseed also contains antioxidants, magnesium, and protein, all of which play a role in energy metabolism. Magnesium is essential for over 300 enzymatic reactions, many of which involve ATP production. Without it, your mitochondria can't do their job. Flaxseed is one of the richest plant sources of magnesium. That's why women who start this daily ritual often report not only weight changes but also better sleep, improved mood, and sharper thinking. Most people make the mistake of thinking they can sprinkle a little flaxseed on a muffin or buy a packaged bread that lists flax as an ingredient and expect dramatic results. That won't work. The form matters. Flaxseed has a hard outer shell that your body cannot break down. If you eat whole flax seeds, they pass through undigested. You see them in your stool, and you gain almost nothing from them. That's why the spoonful must be ground flaxseed, also called flaxseed meal. When ground, the nutrients are unlocked and bioavailable. Timing also matters. Taking flaxseed in the morning is the most effective way to reset metabolism. Why? Because the first food you eat sets the hormonal tone for the entire day. If your first bite spikes insulin, you're chasing cravings all day. But if your first spoonful lowers insulin, stabilizes blood sugar, and feeds your gut bacteria, you set a foundation of steady energy and fewer cravings. Think of it like setting a thermostat in the morning. Set it high with sugar, and you overheat. Set it balanced with flax, and the whole day is smoother. Now let's talk dosage. Studies consistently show benefits from as little as 1 tablespoon per day. That's your spoonful. Some women gradually increase to 2 tablespoons for added benefits, especially for hot flashes, cholesterol, and digestive health. But starting with 1 is enough to trigger the reset. More is not always better. Too much at once can cause bloating if your gut bacteria aren't used to the fiber. That's why the spoonful is powerful. It's precise. How does that spoonful actually work inside your body hour by hour? Within 30 minutes, the soluble fiber begins forming a gel in your stomach. This gel slows digestion, leading to a gentle rise in blood sugar instead of a spike. That means insulin is released slowly, avoiding the sharp surge that promotes fat storage. Within 2 hours, your gut bacteria begin fermenting the fiber, producing short-chain fatty acids like butyrate. Butyrate is a messenger molecule that tells your cells to burn fat instead of storing it. It also travels to the liver, where it reduces glucose production, lowering fasting blood sugar. By evening, the omega-3s from flaxseed are being incorporated into your cell membranes, making them more fluid and responsive to hormonal signals. That's 1 spoonful, 1 day. Now imagine that process repeated daily for weeks. Your insulin sensitivity improves. Your mitochondria work more efficiently. Your inflammation markers drop. You begin to notice subtle shifts. Your energy lasts longer. Your cravings shrink. Your sleep improves. Over time, those subtle shifts accumulate into visible changes: weight loss, a flatter stomach, a clearer mind. But flaxseed doesn't work in isolation. Pairing it with certain foods magnifies its effect. For example, pairing flaxseed with protein, like Greek yogurt or a protein smoothie, stabilizes blood sugar even further. Protein slows digestion and provides amino acids that support muscle maintenance. Remember, muscle is the engine of metabolism. Protecting it is essential. Another smart pairing is flaxseed with fermented foods like kefir or unsweetened yogurt. The probiotics from these foods thrive on the soluble fiber in flaxseed, creating a synergy that boosts gut health. A strong gut microbiome is directly linked to lower inflammation and better metabolic control. And here's a surprising tip. Combining flaxseed with cinnamon amplifies its blood sugar lowering effect. Cinnamon contains compounds that mimic insulin, improving glucose uptake into cells. 1 spoonful of flax with a sprinkle of cinnamon in your morning smoothie is like giving your metabolism a double reset. But just as there are smart pairings, there are pitfalls. Some women make the mistake of heating flaxseed at high temperatures, like baking it in bread. Heat can damage the delicate omega-3 fats, reducing their effectiveness. It's best consumed raw, stirred into cold or lukewarm foods. Another mistake is adding flaxseed to a meal overloaded with sugar or processed carbs. Yes, the flax will help blunt the spike, but you'll still experience a surge that counteracts the benefits. Think of flax as a tool, not a shield. It can't rescue a diet built on sugar and processed foods. Let me give you a story to illustrate. A woman named Caroline, 54, had struggled with stubborn belly fat since her late 40s. She tried everything: cutting carbs, intermittent fasting, even long hours of cardio. Nothing seemed to work. Her doctor told her it was just age. But Caroline refused to believe that. She started with 1 spoonful of ground flaxseed in water every morning. At first, she noticed her digestion improved, less bloating, more regularity. Within 3 weeks, she realized she wasn't crashing at 10 a.m. anymore. She had steady energy through lunch. At 6 weeks, her jeans fit differently around the waist. By 3 months, she had lost 12 pounds, mostly around her middle, without making any other drastic changes. Her blood work also showed lower fasting glucose and lower cholesterol. This is why the spoonful is not just about calories. It's about hormones, inflammation, and repair. You can't out-exercise or out-diet imbalances in those systems. You need to reset them at the root. And let's not forget the psychological side. Women over 50 often feel defeated. They've been told, this is just how it is. They feel invisible, unheard, and stuck in a body that doesn't match their spirit. But when something as simple as a spoonful of flaxseed starts to make a difference, hope returns. That hope fuels consistency, and consistency fuels results. It's not just a physical reset, it's an emotional reset too. Now let me foreshadow something important. Flaxseed is powerful, but it works best in the context of an overall reset lifestyle. That doesn't mean overhauling everything at once. It means adding small strategic steps that compound. For example, pairing your flaxseed habit with a short daily walk after meals doubles the benefit. Walking lowers post-meal blood sugar by physically pulling glucose into muscles. Add that to the insulin-lowering effect of flaxseed, and your cells get a 1-2 punch of metabolic improvement. Or consider hydration. Fiber needs water to do its job. If you add flaxseed without enough fluids, you may feel constipated. But with water, the gel-forming fiber works beautifully, sweeping cholesterol from the digestive tract, feeding gut bacteria, and stabilizing blood sugar. So the habit isn't just one spoonful. It's one spoonful plus a glass of water. Tiny detail, huge impact. And one more layer, magnesium. Remember, flaxseed is rich in it, but pairing it with leafy greens or pumpkin seeds increases intake even further. Magnesium calms the nervous system, reduces cortisol, and helps convert food into energy. Many women over 50 are deficient in magnesium, and deficiency makes weight loss harder. With flaxseed, you're already fixing that gap, but adding complementary foods multiplies the effect. So, the big picture. The spoonful is the spark, the trigger. But once lit, it ignites a cascade of changes. Better insulin sensitivity, more efficient mitochondria, lower inflammation, stronger thyroid function, improved gut health, deeper sleep, more energy, and finally, visible weight loss. Another method is the morning smoothie. Blend 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed with a cup of unsweetened almond milk, a handful of spinach, half a frozen banana, a scoop of protein powder, and a sprinkle of cinnamon. This recipe balances protein, fiber, and phytonutrients. It stabilizes blood sugar, supports muscle maintenance, and delivers a gentle sweetness without the crash. For those who prefer something warm, flaxseed can be stirred into oatmeal or Greek yogurt. The key is to add it after cooking so the omega-3s aren't destroyed by high heat. Top with berries for antioxidants, and you have a breakfast that fuels your metabolism and supports your hormones. And don't limit yourself to mornings. Flaxseed can be sprinkled on salads, stirred into soups, or even blended into homemade salad dressings. The goal is daily consistency. Morning use has the strongest metabolic reset, but adding it later in the day still provides anti-inflammatory and gut-healing benefits. Now, let's discuss advanced strategies. One of the most powerful ways to use flaxseed is in combination with intermittent fasting. Many women over 50 struggle with fasting because hunger spikes make it unbearable. But here's the trick. Starting your eating window with a flaxseed drink smooths the transition. The fiber slows digestion, the omega-3s calm inflammation, and the lignans balance hormones, making fasting more sustainable. Instead of feeling deprived, you feel fueled. Another advanced strategy is pairing flaxseed with strength training. Remember, muscle is the engine of metabolism. Every session of resistance training breaks down muscle fibers, which then rebuild stronger. But to rebuild, your muscles need stable blood sugar and anti-inflammatory support. Flaxseed provides both. That's why women who combine flax with resistance training often see faster gains in strength and quicker reductions in belly fat compared to diet alone. And here's something many people don't know. Flaxseed helps with cholesterol management, which indirectly supports metabolism. High LDL cholesterol and triglycerides are linked with insulin resistance. The soluble fiber in flaxseed binds cholesterol in the gut, pulling it out of the body. Over time, this lowers cholesterol naturally, reducing your risk of heart disease. For women over 50, this is critical because cardiovascular disease is the #1 cause of death post-menopause. So when you take that spoonful, you're not just resetting metabolism, you're protecting your heart. And let's not forget the brain. Omega-3s from flaxseed improve cell membrane function in neurons, supporting better communication between brain cells. Women who take flaxseed regularly often report clearer thinking, sharper memory, and less brain fog. That's not placebo, it's biology. The brain is made of fat, and when you give it high-quality fats, it works better. So where do you begin? Tomorrow morning when you wake up, before coffee, before breakfast, take 1 spoonful of ground flaxseed with water. That's your first step. Do it for 1 week and notice your energy. Do it for 3 weeks and notice your cravings. Do it for 6 weeks and notice your clothes. Do it for 3 months and notice your lab results. The reset builds layer by layer. I want you to remember this. After 50, your metabolism is not broken. It's not gone. It's simply waiting for the right signal. That spoonful is the signal. Your body is designed to heal, to adapt, to renew. But it needs the right tools. So don't think of flaxseed as just food. Think of it as a messenger, a daily reminder that your body still works, that change is possible, that it's never too late. You don't need expensive supplements, fad diets, or endless frustration. You need consistency, knowledge, and a spoonful of something that actually works with your biology instead of against it. Start tomorrow. 1 spoonful. Reset your metabolism. And watch what happens when your body finally begins to cooperate again. Because the truth is, the most powerful medicine isn't hidden in a lab or locked behind a prescription pad. Sometimes, it's sitting right on your kitchen shelf, waiting for you to pick it up. To enjoy more interesting content, tap any of the cards showing on your screen.